Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, September the 22nd, 2022. Tuesday, September the 22nd. Well, you know what? We didn't have a whole lot of movement on today's episode. This is not going to be a long recap, but let me just dive right into the good stuff. Well, remember, Carly had called Ava on the phone and told her to get over to the hospital, right? So Ava comes. Now, why Nina is there? And Carly even said, "Why are you here?" Right? I don't know. And Nina never answered, right? As soon as she sees Ava, she goes just crazy on her, yelling at her, saying, "This is all your fault." Now, mind you, yelling in a lobby. The only person I told that Sonny and I asked Drew, or Sonny asked me to ask Drew to get information on your boyfriend, Austin. The only person I told was you. What'd you do? Run and tell him? And then he went and told whoever, and now Drew, and Ava's like, no, right? And Nina from behind says, "This is not, you are out of line. This is not the place." And she goes, "This is none of your business, Nina. Stay out of it." And Nina looks, right? And I thought, wait a minute. And I think that's when she says, "And what are you doing here anyway?" And Nina just looks, right? So she goes, "Carly, I would never do that." And in my mind, I'm thinking there was a time you were telling Austin everything. So not that you would never do that. So Carly said, "It has to be you. Now Drew might die and this, that, and the other, and he shouldn't even be there. The one, the whoever, you know, tipped off the SCC." And Nina's just standing there now. And Ava's just looking like, it ain't me. And if she poked me enough, I'm going to tell on you, Nina. Right? So Sonny and Anna are still in the chapel, and they were talking, had a nice little conversation. She tells him, "Carly probably needs you right now. You know, you probably should go check on her." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I should, right?" Because actually, believe it or not, Sonny was questioning for the first time his line of work, his choices that he made in life. He said now things, running his business has never been the way it is now. Well, look, without Jason, without a real right hand man, right? So he says, and just all kinds of snowball things are happening. And he's just like, just really thinking about his life. We know he's not going to leave the business, but whatever. She goes, "We probably should go check on Carly." So, of course, Carly's still wilding out there in the middle of the lobby. And he gets off the elevator and he hears her voice just yelling at Ava. And he goes, "Carly." And she turns, "What?" And he goes, "What are you doing?" And she like snaps back into reality. See, because Sonny is the only one that can snap her into reality. She might be mad at Sonny. She might argue with Sonny, but she can't go crazy. Sonny and Jason could talk sense and reason into her, but Sonny could snap her into, "You act right," right? Sonny could do that. And so he goes, "She's the one that she went and told Austin because I told her." And he goes, "She didn't do it. I know she didn't do it." And Carly looks, "Huh?" She goes, "I didn't do it, Carly." And she goes, "I just don't know what to think now." So she goes and she sits down. And Sonny goes and he sits next to her. And he's talking to her. And he goes, "It wasn't Ava, you know." And she goes, just, but we don't know if he's going to live or die, and blah, blah, blah. This is before she got the word. Of course, Drew's going to live, and of course, make a full recovery. He'll be ready to walk out of there tomorrow. You know the way soap operas are. So, anyway, Nina is looking at Carly. just looking at Sonny and Carly as he's sitting there talking to her, being there for her. And she's kind of looking like, And so her and Ava went to the other side of the nurse's station. And Nina's like, can you believe the way she had the nerve to talk to you? And Ava says, you better hope she don't ever find out that it was you that turned Drew and her into the SCC. See, this is what Ava's saying out loud, right there in the hospital lobby. You thought that was bad. Woo, wait till she get a hold of you. And Nina's just looking. And then she's looking at Sonny and Carly like, uh-oh. Okay. So, Jake is really worried about Drew. So Finn takes him to his office and he's talking, calms him down, gets information. And Liz is standing outside the office listening. And Jake was just saying, everybody leaves. Every male, every man, every father that he gets attached to leaves. And now his Uncle Drew can't leave too. So it's really touching because realistically, yeah, his father's died twice on him. Come on now. Jason died. Came back from the dead, died again. Right? And then he's going to come back in another 2-3 years. You can only just do that to a person's emotions so much. So we have Charlotte and Valentine. Charlotte loves the house, loves her room, happy as can be. She said, look, I know Anna didn't decorate this house. And he just looked at her. And then he goes, Charlotte, what would make you say that? She goes, because this is not her taste. This is pretty. So he goes, his assistant is the one that helped him and picked out the stuff for her room. And she goes, ooh, I'm so happy. And then he mentioned, she goes, something about them living there. And then she goes, something about Anna. And he said, how would you feel? She goes, do you plan on moving Anna in? Something like that. And he said, well, Anna doesn't have a house right now. She goes, yeah, because it burnt down, huh? And he's looking like, oh my God, did you do it? Did you do it? Right? And so he goes, how would you feel if Anna came to live with us? So she goes, Papa, how would you feel? Would it make you happy? But I need to know how you feel first. And he goes, why? Oh, this girl reaches in her backpack, pulls out her tarot cards, and he sees that deck of cards. And he goes, Charlotte, where did you get those? And he says, oh, some girl at camp this summer gave them to me, and she taught me how to use them. So I need to know, what do you want, Papa? And she starts flipping over those cards on the coffee table. Look, and Valentine kind of puts his hand up like, what kind of witchery is this? Am I looking at? Who are you? And what happened to my child, right? So he's thinking, oh my goodness, what could be happening? So he's going to dig deeper into those tarot cards because he knows that's a Cassadine thing. He knows Elena deals with tarot cards, and he knows that's how they mind control people. And he is going to find out from her, no, you didn't just get them this summer, girl, because you're ready to print up your own master set. You know them so well, right? You didn't just learn this. And he's going to find out she got the box. It was mailed to her. She didn't read to us that Victor sent the note, but we know Victor sent the note because he said, beware of Anna Devane. Don't trust her. She's dangerous. She knows her Uncle Victor sent her that, right? These cards are going to protect you. Oh, yikes, right? He probably gave her the XYZ, the spells, the potions, and everything else that goes along with those cards. So Charlotte is going to need some deprogramming, right? She's going to need a little deprogramming. So Jake and Elizabeth go into the hospital chapel to pray, for Drew. And then the word comes out that Drew is going to make a full recovery. Now on to the good stuff. The good stuff is Cody comes waltzing into the PCPD in the doctor's suit. Hey, I'm here to turn myself in. And Dante and Chase were standing there by their desks talking. And see, Dante knew he was coming. So Dante glances over at him. And Chase looks at him and he goes, Cody Bell. So Dante kind of walks over to him. He goes, yep, I'm here to turn myself in. And he looks at Dante. He says, what's going on? What should I do? And Dante says, well, I guess you better book him. Like, look, he's a fugitive. He's turning himself in. And Chase is kind of looking at Dante like, this is your friend, though. What's happened? Huh? So he goes and he books Cody. Cody comes out and Chase brings it back out. He goes, okay, he's booked. And Dante goes, okay, good, good. And Chase, as he's arresting him, he reads his Miranda rights. He said, we gonna do this 100% by the book. And Dante's shaking his head like, yes, and we should. See, Dante's moving along. So after Chase comes back from fingerprinting him and taking him, he brought him back to the lobby or the middle of the squad room. And he goes, okay, what do you want to do? So Dante says, well, take him into the interrogation room. So he goes, oh, okay. So he takes him in and he's still looking like, huh, something. Dante, normally you take charge of your friend, or you are too calm with this. So when they get in there, Dante looks at Chase and says, I'll take it from here. Chase is like, wait, what? He goes, I'll take it from here. He goes, are you sure? He said, yeah, I'm sure, as he's taking the handcuffs off Cody. And Chase is looking like, okay, I know something's up. And so here's the thing. Had they let Chase in on what happened and it's Sasha, Chase would have been all in. But look, Chase just got reinstated. Dante don't want to put him into any jeopardy. Plus, Dante don't want him to know how far left he'll really go, right? So guess who comes running into the PCPD frantic? Have you found out anything on my daughter-in-law? I need to know, blah, blah, blah. And so Chase walks over to her and Dante hears her. So he cracks the door and he goes, they knew because they made sure Gladys got a phone call to come down to the PCPD. And he goes, no, we don't have any information on Sasha, but we have Cody Bell in custody. Well, he's the one that kidnapped her. Where is he? We don't know. He hasn't told us. Let me in there. I'll get him to tell me. And I thought, really, Gladys, really? You have a restraining order against him. How are you going to get him to tell you where Sasha's at? So Chase and Dante has the door cracked and him and Cody are listening. So Chase is like, no, you can't go into the interrogation office, but we are, interrogating Mr. Bell or questioning Mr. Bell. Now, mind you, Mr. Bell really hasn't said too much of anything, of course, not to Dante. Dante knows the whole story. Chase don't know what's happening. Cody didn't even say, where's my lawyer? And he goes, do you have a lawyer? And Cody goes, no, I don't. Mm-mm. And so Dante's just looking and Chase goes, okay, sure you don't. And he looks at Dante, right? So Gladys gets this phone call. See, Sam has been with Sasha, keeping her calm, saying, let Cody do his thing, because part of the plan is Cody needs to turn himself in so he can be cleared of the charges, right? So Sam impersonates a bank teller with a country accent, telling Gladys that they're calling her because she's in charge of all of Sasha's accounts, and the accounts have all been subpoenaed, and there's some irregularities with the account. And Gladys says, I've only used money to pay for her hospital bills or when she's asked for money. And she goes, well, all of her accounts are and then she says, and your accounts are going to be handed over to the authorities tonight. So we are just letting you know, right? She hangs up on Gladys. Next scene, we see Gladys in the apartment. Speedy Gonzalez can't even pack the bag right. She's so nervous. She's trying to get out of Dodge because she knows they're going to see all that money's gone, right? And she's trying to stuff this stuff in a suitcase and get it closed, and somebody's knocking on the door. She thinks it's her ride share. And she's like, hold on, I'm almost ready. And then still knock, knock, knock. And she goes, you were supposed to text first. And so she goes, and then knock, knock, knocks the glass. Like, oh my God. So she goes to the door, opens it up, and guess who it is? Sasha. And Sasha's just looking at her. And Gladys is like, and they leave it there. This is going to be good. I can't wait to see the conversation. Because see, Gladys is going to try to pull the wool over Sasha's eyes because she still thinks that's weak Sasha. She don't know, no, this is Sasha that know you've been stealing from me. That know you sold my husband's garage to cover gambling debts. This is the Sasha that you had me drugged. I could have had a heart attack, an overdose from the drugs that doctor was pumping in me for you. That's the Sasha she's about to get. It's about to be on tomorrow. I hope they don't skip to no stupid Curtis and Portia. I would even rather see Sasha and Gladys before I even see Spencer and Trina, even though I still don't think they're going to go. Right? So let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. Look, everybody, there are like almost 50 comments. I'm going to go from the top down. I'm just going to read a few because there's so many. And I want you all to, read each other's comments and then just, comment back because you guys do a great job of that as it is. So let's get started. We have Anita. Anita says, Anna and Sunny should remain as good friends. I hope the writers don't put them together as a couple. It would be nice to have a male and a female to be friends only on a soap. And Sabrina says, hi, Daily Recap lady. Sunny has so many problems with his blondes. One is a murderer, one is a psychopath, and Carly is just crazy. Maybe he should switch the hair colors. Guess what? He's done that a number of times. Now, Claudia Zakara was worse than all of those women. 100% worse than Nina, Ava, and Carly. So, and that was a brunette. So no. Hair coloring ain't right. It doesn't work for him either. I feel Sonny is sick of Austin and his brother, you mean cousin, and is going to have them both tortured to get to the bottom of this. That is, if Cyrus does not kill them to cover his tracks. Just a thought. Cyrus is not going to kill Austin. Austin's going to end up being his son. It's not going to kill him. That's why I sent him to medical school. Don says Maxie lost the eggs from Lulu, the egg. Maxie and Spinelli, well, I know Spinelli got her pregnant. That was New Year's Eve. Maxie was going to say the baby was Lulu's, yes. I am says Drew lived with Elizabeth after Hayden lied and said they were married. Yes. Liz found out from Nick that Drew was Jason. Liz kept quiet because it was her turn. Yep, it was her turn to be with Jason. And then when Jason's return was announced, Jake had his dad. And then Gwendolyn says, why didn't Carly notify Sam as to what happened to Drew? He's the father of her child. I think Victor's minions sent Charlotte those cards. Now Victor probably did himself, and he let her know it was his uncle. It was her grandpa Victor. Jim Stuff says, I'm not for writing Monica off. Just simply say she's taking care of personal business or she's at home sick. Yeah, she's been sick a lot at home. She's still a part of the fabric of the show, so mentioning her is important just to make it make sense. I don't know about that. I don't know. Donkey says, I like the friendship between Sunny and Anna, just not as a couple. The love and war between Carly and Sunny. Yeah, they always have that. And LaShunta says, I'm over Molly and Chrissy. Oh my God, just annoying. She is right. though, because why Molly tell Christina, is it okay that I told my sister? That I told her she could tell my sister because she didn't tell her sister. Carly was on point. I hope Jake doesn't get caught up with Charlotte. Portia can't stand her. Where's Jordan at? Carly mad, watch out. And then let me just kind of skip down a bit. We have LaShanta says Lulu didn't have her embryo stolen, they were her eggs stolen. Lisa and Britt used Dante's sperm to create Ben. Um, it wasn't to trick Nicholas, it was to trick Patrick. And the Nicholas part came later. And then P. Merle says, no, that's not how it was. They were Lulu's embryos. Lulu's eggs were fertilized with Dante's sperm. I thought they were, which is why I didn't understand why Charlotte is not Dante's daughter. The writers fudged the storyline. And then Linda says Nathan was Maxie's husband, or James. Oh, when you said James died, I was wondering who was James. That's what Dr. Obrecht called him. Yeah, we should have said Nathan. Yes, the love chemistry between Sonny and Anna. Anna, they're truthful with each other when he ain't trying to cover up his crimes. Or she's saying, look, need to know basis, some spy stuff she's doing undercover that she ain't supposed to be doing. Robin loves Sonny as a friend. That is so true. I think Sonny and Anna would last a long time. They have respect for each other. And then let's say D.L. Hudson says Maxie lost her baby. Brittany stole one. She lost the baby. Yes, she did. And Helena stole the other. That is exactly what happened. And then P. Merle says, why did somebody realize Cyrus is behind the mayhem? Drew told Carly he saved him from a heart attack and he was brought to GH. Can all the characters really be that dumb? I know. But anyway, everybody, look, that's all I'm going to read from Comment Corner today. Great comments. I read them earlier. Go back through everybody and, kind of chime in on each other. It's really, really great. I love the conversation. But I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap of General Hospital.